are live. NBA rundown time. Friday night NBA basketball. I got my guy Tyler with me. But just in case we got a fever, we got the fantasy doctor, Travis Mangone. Travis, have you been giving out the prescription? I can't wait till you show up on the show with a couple fantasy nurses flanking you. That'll be sweet. How you been, Travis?
Yeah, I should show up with a coat on one day. JT Hayes would love that. That's definitely something.
A little stethoscope with your
I got to get that in the arsenal. That's a good call. So, DFS has been good. Basketball, it's not like I was on a nice little heater. I feel like I'm like in like a lull where I'm just kind of chilling, not doing bad, not doing great. But hey, hopefully we can get a spike performance tonight. Nice little 2-game slate. Some game sixes. So I'm excited. But there was a lot to discuss since last Friday spread. I haven't been on since Friday. And, the chat told me Russell Westbrook has just been carrying this Clippers team. I mean, carrying him to what? A bunch of losses. So that's great. Congrats on the L's. But the Bucks is the crazy. I know,
coming out firing, bro.
It's just stupid. Like,
bro, we're only 1 minute and 35 seconds in the show. You've already slandered Russ.
Yeah,
they're not even on the slate.
You got to hit quick and fast, spread, and he ain't messing around.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, these guys that want to build around their franchise with Russell Westbrook, like, what are we doing here? And Paul George apparently wants to bring him back, which, I mean, good luck, Paul. But Clippers University is looking like it's shut down, obviously, or it's struggling. So we'll see how that winds up. But Kawhi looked great. That was one thing to take away. Is Kawhi in the playoffs was awesome. Can we talk about the Bucks? I mean, I said the Bucks were overrated. I didn't think they were this bad. Like, I mean, that was embarrassing to lose to Jimmy like that. Jimmy absolutely just whipped it out and looked like an absolute baller. That shot he made was nuts, by the way. Absolutely insane to make that shot. I also thought that play call was kind of crazy. Like, at first when I saw it, I was like, why are you throwing that pass? Why are you doing that? But the more I thought about it, like, they're clearly just going to double him up at the top of the key. And one thing I was trying to figure out when they were running that play was, I don't know if you saw, but like Chris Middleton was like standing at the logo. And I was like, why is this man at the logo?
They had Duncan Robinson in the backcourt.
Yeah,
he starts moving, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, when I was looking at it, I was like, man, this is like a weird setup. How are they going to get Jimmy the ball? Because like it was clear you can't give it to him at the top or it's going to be clogged. And hey, it worked out. I mean, congrats to them. I'm actually very excited for the Tom Thibodeau and Jimmy Butler reunion together. That'll be a lot of fun. I saw there was a good clip on Twitter that I had tweeted out of it's like Batman and his butler, Bruce Wayne seeing the butler in public for the first time in a while. That's like, that's Tibbs and Jimmy Butler, right? They're not expected to see each other in this location. It's just very odd. So I'm excited to watch that. Brunson is fun to watch. Hopefully we don't get to watch too much Julius Randle because he's been terrible, like we've talked about for years on this show. Actually, as crazy as that sounds, we've talked about that before. So playoffs have been awesome. I feel bad for you, spread. The beam is a little sad right now. It's lost some light with the way things have gone with the Kings. I'm hoping De'Aaron Fox can carry them and pull them up to an upset tonight. I don't know how much you thought the hand affected him. I mean, he looked fine for the most part, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just using that as an excuse a little bit. And then, I mean, the Memphis Grizzlies, they battled back in that last game, but I think this is where LeBron just comes out and just, lets them know. I think this is definitely going to be a big game for the Lakers. I think they get the job done tonight. So we'll obviously talk about it and get to it, but having a Lakers or Warriors or Kings, either one's fine. That's going to be exciting. Nuggets, Suns, I can't wait for that personally. I think the Nuggets are actually going to, pull off a little bit of an upset there. I wish the line was a little better, but we'll see. And then Knicks Heat will be fun. And my Celtics got the job done, even though it was a little scary. I still think the Hawks, they've looked a lot better since Quinn Snyder's been there. So this isn't the same Hawks team that we saw all season long. That's why they gave him a little bit of trouble. And Embiid's obviously banged up, so I think the Celtics will end up they won't cruise, but they'll get the job done with the Philadelphia 76ers. So I know I've gone on a long rant here, spread, but there was a lot to unpack.
It was a pretty good breakdown, Travis, but we're talking a little more pre-show. You gave away a lot. Gave away a lot of your picks, Travis. You got to space it out, right? A little tease for the next segment.
They don't have the DFS ones, and that's the important ones, right? So of course
I guess that's true. I guess that's true.
That'll be the exciting part. And I didn't get to talk about this. My man Ant looking incredible. I mean, what a perfect outcome for an Ant backer, right? I get to watch him go out there and everyone just stroke him and say how good he is. But then they also lose 4-1, where it's like, okay, Rudy Gobert's still a problem. He still sucks and makes everything terrible. And Cat, too. Cat's, I don't know if you caught did you catch the Jeff Teague interview about Cat and Jimmy spread?
No, I saw the Jimmy clip and that was it.
Oh, so Jeff Teague went into detail about that practice where he took on the starters and absolutely dogged them. It's an incredible watch. You got to watch it, spread. It's like 6 minutes long. Jimmy just absolutely owns them all. And apparently him and Cap don't like each other. And Jeff Teague said, we'll save that for another podcast. So we kind of knew they didn't like each other, but this is.
Well, didn't Jimmy fuck Cat's girlfriend?
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't there a girlfriend that got to the other
Is that
side
what
at one
happened?
point?
Yeah, that's what I read.
Well, I mean, hey, that wouldn't totally shock me. And I will say this, Cat, I understand why you're upset with him then. I thought it was maybe not that, but that gets a little bit spicy there.
Yeah, that can always happen.
You left out the best part of that last game for Minnesota. Ant hucks up the 3 at the end, bounces off the back of the rim, and bro went and decided he was a WWE superstar after that.
Yeah, that was so stupid that they
just started hucking chairs at people in the arena.
Well, he barely hit the guy. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, it's not like
I guess it was an older lady he caught across the back with the chair, so you know how that's gonna go.
He hit her back. I thought it grazed her leg or something.
That's what I thought too, but I guess when he let it go off the swing, it just kind of like slammed.
Did it? Okay, so when I saw it, it felt like it just grazed her from what I saw, but it wasn't the easiest thing to see because again, he was like,
he's running, he's spinning, the camera's going in different directions.
Yeah, Ant should be fine. I don't think that's gonna.
He'll pay a little fine. It'll be all right. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right. We're not done with the slander yet, though. The Cavaliers just escaped all your things.
What about them?
We're just not going to talk about Donovan Mitchell coming up short. Jared Allen getting beasted.
I told you Jalen Brunson was the best player in that series. I mean, I said it on the show.
I know, but like Russ, like you're going ahead and you're slandering him, but then Donovan Mitchell gets no slander at all.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's the thing. Donovan Mitchell is that guy to me. So I guess
what guy? What guy is he?
The guy that messes up in the playoffs.
He's not it, man. Like he's that wannabe superstar. That's what he is. He's not it. Like he's the guy that's gonna ISO dribble and not get the job done. I don't know what to tell you, Spread. It's just the truth. Like
he's the mom. We have a superstar at home.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll tell you this: the Knicks dodged a bullet.
Not trading for him? Yeah, they're smart. That's a smart team.
We gotta give the Knicks. We like to make fun of the Knicks at times, Fred. We gotta give the Knicks credit for going with Jalen Brunson, right? And I mean, now all they gotta do is clean up the RJ Barrett and Julius Randle mess, and they'll be really.
First of all, only one of those players is a mess.
I think both are, but I mean that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, I don't know what your love is for RJ Barrett, but.
I just like scorers, ballers to get the job done. Speaking of scorers and ballers,
stop him right there. That is not RJ Barrett.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see how many times I can tempt you to end the show, Tyler, before we even start. He tried to end the show, guys, before we even started today. But you guys ruined my segue because we're speaking of ballers and guys who get jobs done. That's Rubio Dimes. What is up? We weren't going to let you escape so easily, Travis. He's hungry here. He's looking over his DoorDash menu, and he wanted to stop by and make an appearance.
So I must say I was wrong about the Kings. I apologize, Fred. I gave up a lot more fight than I ever would have thought. Great looks. I'll tell you, the Aaron Fox, he stepped it up. He's a top 25 NBA player.
He's top 25, all right.
That's a compliment. Come on, there's 25 great players in the NBA, and we'll give him top 20. I will say this: I feel like whatever medicine they gave it to him in the first half worked, but it wore off by the second half. You could just tell he was feeling that finger whenever it got slapped or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like it was disappointing to see because, man, the Malik Monk show was a lot of fun, but man, I'm worried about them tonight. But I will say I gave Mangone a $100 buyout offer. I said, man, after game 2.
If I knew his finger was messed up, I would have took it.
Well, he didn't hurt it till game 4.
Yeah. I said, man, I'll give you $100 to buy it. He said, no, I'm going to make you pay. So thank goodness the Warriors
I will say, I this is what I needed today. I was kind of feeling defeated, like that this series was over. I needed Rubio to show up, and I'm gonna fight for the Kings tonight. I'm gonna root them hard. I'm gonna be getting out of my seat in front of the TV and letting them know that we're not done here yet. We're lighting the beam one more time at least.
I will say, Game 5. I was complaining about the officiating all series. Game 5 kind of felt slanted toward the Warriors. Not gonna lie in terms of the officiating, but Game 6 Clay is tonight, Mangone. I'm sorry, it's Game 6 Clay. When does he not show up?
Well, the other problem with the whole Warriors situation is the NBA has to be clamoring at the idea of Lakers Warriors in round 2. Like, I mean,
just look at how this all lined up for them. They get a Boston Philly matchup that has all the history. They get a New York Miami series where they could play all the old highlights of people beating the hell out of each other on the floor. I'm just saying, Phoenix is all offense, and then you could get whatever you want out of this one. But I don't think the league wants to show the 2002 highlights of the Lakers cheating the Kings.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the Kings can get the job done tonight. It's more of a hope, right? It's not like I feel confident, but
they'll get it done tonight, Travis. You want to know why? Because our guy Title tried to hustle me the other day. I took the Kings in Game 5, and he beat me in a UFC bet. He says, "I'll give you your 100 back. I'll take the Warriors in Game 5, and the Kings are going to win Game 6." I was like, "You're up to something." I was like, "I'm not taking this bet." And then the Warriors went out and won Game 5.
Yeah, Title, you got to watch. He's that guy.
Yeah, he's a little sneaky guy. You got to watch out for him.
He never gives you a bad bet. So, like, when he's offering a bet, you got to, really be like, okay, first of all, before I even make this bet, what is he up to, right? Because he never even gives you a little bit, right? So that's the problem. He's kind of held it too close to the vest. Eventually, he's going to have to give a bad bet somewhere.
Yep.
All right, Jonathan Nelson, good to see you. We missed you yesterday, 116-99. Nowhere to be seen, but we're glad to have you back.
I wasn't even worried about the Laker one. I was more worried about the Dodger game. He told me my Pirates were going to lose, and we went out there and smashed that Dodgers team.
Yeah, it was a tough day for Jonathan Nelson yesterday, but
it's a tough day for Tyler when he's talking up the Pirates. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, you're right, Travis.
Don't the Pirates have a winning record?
It's
every right.
If Tyler's talking up the Pirates in April, that means things are rough.
Things are went very bad, Travis. Very bad.
Yeah.
How have you seen the Pirates record, Mangone? It's crazy.
I mean,
they're a good team.
Rubio,
they're playing baseball there, man, at PNC Park.
Rubio, I'm talking about Tyler as a person. I have never heard Tyler on an NBA show.
He's got a Pirates thing in his background.
Yeah, he's got the Pirates.
Again,
he's never had a chance to talk up the Pirates.
It's funny because I'm on Travis's side here, and the other two guys are trying to say,
we're defending you, even though you don't want the defense.
Because Tyler knows I'm right. He knows I was like, it's like if I'm trying to think, we're on like an NFL show, right? And like the Packers are like 0-5, and like I'm like, man, those New York Mets are looking great right now. You know what I mean?
But his Knicks are doing great, so he does have plenty to talk about.
That's true. But the Knicks, I will say that's going to be super fun. Tyler, I'm excited to, I don't know if we're talking about this on this show, but
I was definitely planning on it. And now we definitely have time because you already gave away every single take for your whole game, Travis. So
I haven't said who I think is winning the Knicks and Heat. I have no idea who's winning the Knicks or Heat. So I'd like to talk it through because I think it's going to be a fun one.
Rubio, do you got time to hang out with us?
Yeah, I got time. I got everything I needed to get done. It's a Friday. It's a perfect day outside. And who else do I get to spend it with other than you guys? I can't ask for anything better.
It's either that or going on a picnic, Rubio. I mean, one or the other.
Well, my girlfriend's going to a birthday party tonight, so I'm thinking I got to go to Ohio and just live bet Warriors Kings. I can't lie. Like, live betting sports is just such a movie. Like, I've never had the opportunity to do it until Ohio got it, and I just chill at a bar or a hookah place and literally just slamming Warriors money line in game 2. That was terrible. I'm sitting there, like, I got Warriors plus 500. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh man, it's tie game with 2 minutes left. They broke my heart, but it's a different movie. Like, live betting sports, oh my God, I wish I have always had it.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you here. We got the fancy doctor with us. Here's what I'm thinking. Let's go over this weekend's games, and then we'll circle back around and we'll finish with tonight's games. Because we probably won't talk about DFS implications in these. I don't know. Maybe pricing is out, but I don't think so. Tomorrow, the Suns take on the Nuggets. Travis, start with you. What are your thoughts here on this series? I did a show with Ski Profit and 5-Star this morning. Ski's a really good NBA bettor, and I like the Suns originally, but he said some things that really made me reconsider that stance and think about taking the Nuggets. Where are you landing?
Is Ski on the Nuggets too?
He likes the Nuggets for the series.
Good. I like the Nuggets for the series. That actually gives me like a little more confidence too to hear like someone because Ski is sharp. I like his takes.
Good capper.
My thought process is I have not been impressed with the Suns. I'm not saying that the Suns can't advance through the West. I'm not saying they can't, but I have not been impressed with what I have seen so far. I think the Nuggets have been impressive. I think they're a team that has played a while together. I think Jamal Murray looks like him, right? He looks like the guy that I was hoping he'd look like in the postseason. Defensively, am I that excited about this Nuggets team? No, not really. I don't think they've been that impressive defensively, but I think Aaron Gordon can do a good enough job to slow them down. That's the key. I don't think they're going to do the whole double KD thing like the Clippers did and then just have a bunch of midgets to shoot over. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you have enough guys that can slow Booker down enough between like KCP and some of those other wing guys that can get the job done to at least force the ball into other options' hands. It's not just going to be free buckets for Devin Booker. So I like the Nuggets here in this spot. One thing everyone was worried about with the Nuggets, they were worried about, oh, their bench isn't that good. They're struggling. Well, that's because they played DeAndre Jordan. They're not playing DeAndre Jordan now. They're playing Aaron Gordon at the 5. It's been a different Nuggets bench because, again, the playoffs is different. I wish I was getting a better number. I thought I could maybe get, like, right now, is it plus 110 right now, Tyler, versus minus 140 on the Suns?
That's about what I have, yeah.
Yeah, the books are robbing us right now, by the way. Absolutely ridiculous lines they're putting out there. It's frustrating. Bet with a friend if you can instead. Maybe a Rubio Dimes for lunch. I don't know. But I'm being serious. Like, if your buddy likes the Suns, do not go to your sportsbook and do it. Just take the vig away and make a wager with them there instead. Make it fair for both sides. Instead of giving them minus 140, right? Give them like minus 130 or minus 120, and then he'll give you, plus 120. Like just make it fair. That's the way you want to approach this right now if you can. I might shop around and try to find someone who's a Suns backer and see if I can get a better Nuggets line. But I really do think this Nuggets team, one thing that gets undervalued at times, Fred, is just team chemistry and playing with each other for a while. I think that's one thing that could run into the Suns' issues. Or the Suns could just clearly just have too much talent for this Nuggets team. But I'm kind of in the camp of I want to bet against the Suns here over the next 2 series. I think the Suns will be the favorite in either series going forward. I just don't think they're going to get there. I am also holding a Suns ticket at 21-1 that I'm considering selling for my Lakers tickets that I have. I like those a lot more. Those look really tasty. I think it's because it's like a 65-1, so that's why I'm a little more excited about it. But I made both those, and this is like a little advice for like making these wagers before the trade deadline. I made them both before the trade deadline, assuming that a trade would happen. And if it doesn't happen, I could sell the ticket. Maybe I take a minor loss, but I figured at some point I'd be able to sell it for a profit. So that's kind of the way that I've been handling it. And I understand, yes, you can't sell the tickets sometimes for like the best numbers, but sometimes you can get some really good numbers and take a gamble on it, which I felt like I've done with both of these so far. But I haven't been that impressed with the Suns so far. I'm excited to watch them against the Nuggets and see how it goes. I might go to one of the games. I'm going to try to get to one. So should be a lot of fun. I'm currently on the Nuggets side, though, Spread. That's the side that I lean right now.
I love this, man. And this is fun because we the people, first of all, he's talking about me picking a side. But let's talk about another one of his criticisms here, right? Because as much as you love to slander Russ, I feel like I get that slander from we the people. And he says that I get too stuck on my picks and then I cannot have my mind be changed. I think this is proof here in a time where I was leaning one way and now I'm listening to some great arguments. Boy, there's a lot of good arguments for the Nuggets. Greg, do you want to continue to convince me that the Nuggets are the right side, or do you want to confuse me even more?
I think I'm going to confuse you even more because I'm split right down the middle here. I picked the Bucks and Suns to make the finals. I picked the Bucks to win it. So my opinion should be worth it.
That was rough, how Giannis regressed to 2018.
I don't think he even regressed. I think Coach Bud.
If you look at the free throw shooting he did.
Yeah, you're right. 10 for 20, what? 10 for 24, that's inexcusable.
It was 11 of, 24, 25 there in that final game, and they lost by how many?
Oh, terrible. It really was. But you look at the Suns, too, and this is a team, like, it wasn't exactly convincing against the Clippers in some of these games, especially without Kawhi. If Kawhi played, I mean, could that series have extended a little bit? And obviously, I think Jokic is, God, you just saw him take over against the Timberwolves there, which You could say the same thing about the Nuggets. They weren't exactly convincing. DeAndre Jordan getting minutes is absolutely concerning. He did get minutes there in game 5, I think, game 4 even. So I'm curious to see how much we see KD at the 5 even. I don't know if it'll happen with Jokic when he's on the bench, but Ayton defends Jokic pretty well. I think I
don't think you can run KD at the 5.
Well, they ran him at the 5 in game 2 and game 3. I think they were kind of experimenting
against the Cliffs, but you can't do it against Tyler's favorite Teletubby.
you can when he's on the bench, right? I wonder, like,
if
Jokic is on the bench, and how do they roll out Bismack, or do they say, screw it, we're going to try and space it out? They're going to play Aaron Gordon at the 5. We'll go ahead and just take Bismack out the game. We'll spread out the floor. I'm really curious because I think these are actually, I think Malone kind of gets some shit, sometimes too. But I think these are two coaches who are willing to kind of be a little bit savvy. You kind of see a little bit of a chess match between the two, and I'm just really excited about this series. I don't think the Suns can defend at all, and if Ayton kind of has his hands full with Jokic, do they single him up one-on-one or do they double? Like, I think if there was a bet to look at for the first game, I'm thinking like over 226. Teams start to feel each other out. You kind of get this like offensive, mishmash where Booker and KD, like Booker's been, wow. Like that first series there, I mean, he really stepped up. I know after the first game, people were giving him shit. And then at games, he just really went on a tear. And so this is a series, like, I'm literally just going to be happy to kind of watch. I think I'll ride the home teams a little bit on the bets. Like, I think the Nuggets take game 1, but, then it becomes a little bit more after that. And I'll probably just take the over, root for points. There's no better way to do that than a neutral and kind of root on my fantasy teams. But we do have pricing out in the showdown tomorrow. I was kind of surprised by that. And it is kind of a fun slate. Like, I've been continuously fading CP3, and I think I'll kind of do that in this series. And, yeah, it should be a good time.
Who do you like in captain?
Is Jamal Murray going to attack CP3? Is that what we're going to see?
Well, here's the thing with CP3. He's lacked upside all year. Like it really has been like frustrating, especially when his minutes get amped up. I mean, it's still KD and Devin Booker handling it. But I think they didn't outprice Jokic. But the problem is there's not like a ton of like 1K options. You gave me shit for the Pritchard play last night, which I was crushing before Horford went off. It pissed me off seeing an old man Al kind of get there. But they priced Biyombo up to 4K. I think Christian Brown's the only guy who's really guaranteed minutes at 2.6. So it'll be tough to get a stud at captain. I haven't exactly built or anything, but game 1 rotations tend to be a little bit larger too. So I think you'll probably see like a Jamal Murray or even going back to Ayton or Gordon. It'll be interesting.
Did any of your Pritchard teams cash, Rubio?
Yes, I actually bubbled a lot of them. The biggest reason was Jalen ended up getting there. But it was the Al Horford. I even mentioned in the thing, if a mid-tier player goes off, this build isn't going to work, right? Yeah. And Al Horford ended up going off. DeAndre Hunter and Marcus Smart didn't exactly crush the slate or anything, but they did decent enough. But before Horford got 45, I was 3Xing. I was having a great time.
I think the flaw you ran into with that was so we don't know we don't know what's going to happen in all the games. But I think there were too many mid-tier options that one would somehow go off, right? Like, I think
that's what I kind of mentioned too. And I thought it was a great cash play. And you can hate on this because you're more of a cash guy than I am. But when I projected Pritchard for 0.1, he was hitting every build because I projected the studs for so much.
Yeah.
I projected Tatum for 62. I projected Trey for 58, Jalen for 47, and DeJounte for 47 as well. And so, when you do that, I felt in a game 6, these guys getting 40 minutes. The only guy you could have an argument against was Jaylen Brown in my eyes. Obviously, DeJounte kind of underwhelmed a little bit. But, Jaylen Brown, his minutes were still stuck in that 36 to 37-minute, purgatory where you're like, oh, man, and maybe it's not worth getting it to him. But, the builds then ended up shipping. I mean, we're a Horford captain, and you didn't have to dip down below, 3K. Grant Williams played but didn't really crush. And it was an interesting slate. I mean, I think, the winner got 18K or something like that. The shipper did. So, yeah, it definitely was a more unique build to ship it to.
All right. If you ever want to know if Robert's live watching the show with us, mention Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and he will appear in the chat magically to remind us that he believes Jaylen Brown is a better player. Tyler, we kind of got off track there, but we are discussing the Suns and the Nuggets. I've heard great arguments for both teams so far. Who do you like?
I'll probably be on the Suns. I mean, I get all the arguments Travis made, and I see where he's coming from. They're the deeper team. The Suns really weren't all that impressive. But if this gets into just we're going to throw defense out the window and we're just going to see who could score more points in this series, give me the guys that have 2 guys that can give us 40 on any given night. Like, yeah, Jamal Murray could give us 40. Jokic could.
Two guys can give you 40.
Yeah, they definitely Nuggets have that.
They have it, but they don't have like if it was like Booker and KD go score us 40 in back-to-back games, you probably do it. Jamal Murray on the road, not scoring 40. Jokic and Murray doing it together, not happening. Like it just doesn't correlate on their side. So that's my thing.
What odds could I get? And I don't know if you are a
Trying to
Rubio
hustle
Dimes.
the spread.
I don't know if you're a Rubio Dimes type sports, but what odds can I get on one of the road games? Jamal Murray gets 40. What's a line I could get?
I'll give you like plus 500 because my luck has been dog shit. And
I was going to say plus 4, plus 500 seems about fair.
That means game 3, he's dropping 65.
Can I get 500 to 1 on this? I get any of the road games?
No, that's 5 to 1.
Oh, I thought you said higher. I'm like crazy.
Yeah, plus 500, 5 to 1.
I'm used to Rubio Dimes Sportsbook being very generous. I think.
Yeah, they're not doing that in Pittsburgh.
We got to rebuild the bankroll over here. We got to get some losers on the board.
I don't know about 5 to 1. Well, I'll have to look at the alt line.
Really, I was thinking there's even value there. I think true price might even be 3 or 4 to 1.
Yeah, I'm not
assuming you get 3 opportunities, right? Do you guys think this is going to be a long series?
Well, maybe 3, right? Because you don't know.
If that's part of the factor. Do you think there's any chance that the series finishes in 5? I don't. But at the same time, I would have given you 5 to 1 that Knicks Cavs doesn't end in 5, right? So I mean, we get surprised here.
Did he get 40 in any of those last ones? I'm trying to think.
I don't think so. His road playoff log right now.
I don't care about the road one. I just care about this past one. He got 40 against the Timberwolves in the one. Yeah, it was a home game, but that's fine.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll have to revisit this. We'll see. Maybe if I want some action, maybe I'll send it to you.
Look at those home road splits, Travis.
Well, I'll tell you what, Travis. I did have to take the L because remember I was kind of teasing you for really getting in for these first round playoff series, but they ended up being fantastic. Much better than I expected. We got surprises, games worth watching. But these matchups, the round 2, I mean, this is the settle in, right? What was it you told everyone last week? You can hang out with me, but I'm not leaving the house. You're coming over here.
Yeah. Yep. You can come over and hang out, watch the games with me, but I'm not leaving the house. Yeah. I don't know. The only thing is there's not like 4 games throughout the day, so it's not as much of like
That's even better though, because you can get stuff done.
Yeah. Well,
you can go out, have a great time. This game is what? I see 7 for me. That's 10 Eastern.
Yeah.
This game really doesn't start till 10 Eastern. You guys live such a crazy life.
I'm not in the East Coast time zone anymore. I'll tell you, it's the 10 Eastern time zone. Spread, you love that time zone. I'm telling you, it's not as good as you think for basketball.
I don't get how he loves his time zone. The dude can't even stay up till like 9:30.
No, I've switched my sleep schedule. I'm working the swing shift now at UPS. I didn't go to bed till after 12 last night. So look who's talking now, buddy. Yeah.
You're like dead tired. You're probably like a zombie, all miserable, crawling into bed.
I am.
Fred, you went to sleep after me. I normally go to sleep very late, but I went to sleep at 11 my time. And that's because I stopped having as much sugar and stuff like that. I'm trying to cut, and it's not fun.
Bro, cutting sucks, dude. I'm doing it right now too. It's terrible.
I'm cutting. It's not fun.
Can we track each other's progress? We should join a fitness club because I am too. This is a no sugar drink right here. It's awesome.
All right,
Rubio, you shouldn't even be drinking that though. Like you should be, if you're really cutting, it's got to be like water. Like
no, sugar-free drinks are fine.
I'm trying to. Here it is. Like I got this like Bobby approved thing or whatever it is, organic stuff, brown rice, everything like that. I can't completely cut sugar, right? Like it's just part of my DNA. But this is like as close as it gets to me from a good good alternative, right? I'll eventually cut it out, but give me a 2
weeks.
Is
there calories in there?
I'm cool with that. Okay, the slow burn is not a bad way to go about it.
I don't think so.
It's 0 calories, you're okay.
Yeah, 0 calories.
Just sugar-free is not necessarily going to cut it. No, I watched the games.
But I got my nuts right here, man. Tasty.
Oh, hey. And Kurt said this isn't that bad. And Kurt's like he's a health freak too. He said, yeah, you can drink that. He didn't give me like the full thumbs up approval, but he said it's all right.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's progress. He understands like what it was before was I get what he's doing.
How much are you guys each trying to lose? Tyler, you're not invited to this conversation.
Yeah, I'm not invited.
I'm trying to get down to like 165. I just want to be able to like.
What are you at now? What's the total number of pounds?
So 10 pounds.
Okay, 10. I'm about there, probably there too. I don't even know if I have 10 pounds to lose. What are you, Travis?
I don't really care about the number. I care about the look. So I just want to trim and get the stomach nice and trim for the beach season. You know what I'm saying? So.
I'm thinking about 10 pounds.
Well, I'm going back to Jersey for like a solid 2-3 weeks. So yeah,
dude, I got a great weight loss tip for you. Just stand next to Mikey. You'll look shredded.
That's true. That's a good point. If I'm gonna go out to the Jersey Shore bars, Mikey's a good invite. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
He'll make me look good when I'm out there with the ladies.
Wait. When are you heading to Jersey, man? I'll join you guys. Come on.
There you go.
I'm going to Tampa next week. I get to see Kurt. I'll be the Mikey to Kurt.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Mikey's a stud, though. We're doing the So Rare stuff together. It's been awesome.
All right. Well, we'll start a little thread and we'll see who can get there quickest. The Miami Heat are +4 in their series against the Knicks. The series price, however, is where is this? Knicks are -158. Start with you, Rubio. What do you think here between the Heat and the Knicks? I feel unprepared on this one. I completely expected Nuggets Suns.
I'm
not ready for this one.
Jimmy Butler is just an animal, and like I saw that Jeff thing today. But like Tibbs, when he gets excited, he starts shaking his hands and stuff, and then Jimmy Butler enters the room. I went for the Bucks, and I was like the whole time, like Game 5, we still got a chance. The Bucks, we're still gonna move through. God, Jimmy is just that dude right now, and he's on a different planet. Like I think he knows, like he's just that dude, and I'm just scared to go against him in any facet. But I will say, Jalen Brunson, he outplayed Donovan Mitchell. I was completely wrong about D. Mitch being the best player in that series. Jalen Brunson really just took it to them, and I think Randall, the ankle is going to be a little bit concerning, right? Like he went down. It doesn't look great when he just went down.
Does it matter? You get RJ Barrett minutes. Let's go.
Oh God, no.
Canadian baller time.
I will say Obi Toppin came in and played amazing. You saw Hartenstein and Mitch Robinson. That was a great center duo too, and it'll be interesting. I think Bam Adebayo has to step up. I do like the value on the Heat just a little bit more. I just think the fact that Jimmy Butler's playing at this level, right? No one would have expected, the Heat to make it through versus the Milwaukee Bucks. And God, I just think you're getting a guy who arguably is a top 5 player at this very moment, right? The way he's playing, he's top 5, maybe top 3 in terms of the playoffs only, right? If you screw the regular season, I have a hard time picking against him. And that's just the reasoning here. But I will say, God, the Knicks looked incredible. I think Bickerstaff, is he gone in Cleveland after that?
No, first of all, they already came out and said, it's over. He's staying, right? They said, end the speculation right now. Secondly, what was he supposed to do? His bigs are out there getting punked.
That's the thing. Punked. I think.
What is he supposed to do? Hey, Jared Allen, get tougher. I mean, get bigger. I don't think that was his fault at all. I think he came in
punked by Mitch Robinson, Jared Allen. That was sad to see.
First of all, Mitchell Robinson is underrated. I mean, him and Kevon Looney are in there for the underrated MVPs of winning teams.
Looney, oh my goodness, what a 3-game stretch he's had. I mean, that's been telling. I mean, what did he compare himself to KD coming out of high school or something? You just see the guy. I mean, obviously he's put on the pounds to be an NBA center, but some of these passes are just absurd. You're like, damn, you didn't know he had that in his arsenal. And Mitch Rob, same way. I mean, just the amount of putbacks he had against the Cavs was just absurd. I mean, it really was. I do like the Knicks just as a team, but I like the value on the Heat. I just think Jimmy Butler is him, and it's not going to change this series.
Yeah, all right, Rubio. So I'm with you. We get rid of Budenholzer. I think Bickerstaff, give him a little time to develop. Budenholzer's had his shot. It's over in Milwaukee. Hopefully they feel the same way. Giannis, pretty critical of Budenholzer after the series, which is something that he's pretty reluctant to do. My guess is that he's gone. But let's stick to the Knicks and the Heat. Your thoughts here, Travis? -158 for the Knicks to win the series. The Knicks are laying 4.5 in Game 1. A series that I feel underprepared for, Travis. This was not the series that we prepared for when we were filling out our brackets when we did our playoff preview.
Well, there's no need for you to be prepared, Spread. I got the answer for you. Also, on top of that, you can collect your Bucks money. I know you lost some cheese on them. That's okay, though. You can collect it in this series. You can get it back here. Just take the Heat. They're going to win this series.
Wow.
Jimmy Butler's the better player in the series. Julius Randle and the injury, I think that's going to hurt them. Him trying to be bouncing in and out of the lineup. going to be bad for them, in my opinion. Also, Grimes is hurt. Grimes does matter. And also, let's say Grimes does play. You think Jimmy Butler is going to be scared of Quentin Grimes defensively? I know.
No, but do you think Tom Thibodeau's not going to just sit there and let him eat the same guy over and over again, and it's going to put different looks in there? I mean, if there's anyone who can,
to be honest, Thibodeau might let him and might get excited about it. He might be like, man, like, yeah, he might be shaking and everything like that. Like, to be honest, you'll laugh at this, but I just thought of it as like a funny analogy. Imagine like the Bucks, they look around and they like look at Jay Crowder, they're like, you played against Jimmy, like what can we do? And Jay was probably like, probably nothing. Like he probably had no answers, and it scared the Bucks even more. They were like, damn, Jay don't even got an answer for us how to stop him.
Jay probably said, let me play, because that was another big one too that I think Budenholzer was going to go, and it just showed your star's upset. I said we're going to stop talking about it. My bad. But your star's upset, and your GM's got to be upset too. I sent out like every second round pick for the next 5 years to get a guy to DMP him. That seems.
Fred, I told you he's a bad coach, but it's okay. You know.
I know, and I take my L's here and there, but don't worry, I'm gonna victory lap something on you here real soon. So you be careful here. I'm not. I'm
okay.
down, but I'm not out. Right? It's not the number of times you get knocked down. It's the number of times you get back up, Travis. I'm living.
I'll take my L's when they come, Spread, but it's been good over here. And I think Jimmy's going to get the job done. I like this number for them. One thing I think that this is done that I think sometimes we don't realize as much, we overvalue guys like Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is a jump shooter, good at handling the ball, not incredible. And he's a big minus on defense, right? I think we underestimate how much of that minus is. And when you add in someone like these 3-and-D type defenders and you force more usage to Jimmy Butler, we've seen it with Luka. I mean, again, I like the idea of going and grabbing a star next to Luka and trying to figure it out, and they'll figure it out at some point. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But some of these guys that you just want to have 40% usage funnel to with just 3-and-D guys, it makes a ton of sense to have that lineup and to have Jimmy with a bunch of 3-and-D guys and then a big man that can get the job done. Gabe Vincent, who's kind of like a Derek Fisher type point guard, where he just plays a little bit of defense, feed him the rock to make that 3-pointer and be reliable and hand the ball back. It's a good mix that they got going here. Don't get me wrong. I love Jalen Brunson, but did you see what Jimmy Butler is saying to Drew Holiday? I mean, the dude is losing by 6. And he's going at him and saying, like, I own you. Imagine being down 6, right? I'm on the slab playing Rubio and I'm down 6 and I say I own you. That's a lot of balls. I don't know if I got the balls to do that being down 6 to Rubio like that. So
if it was ping pong, I'll bet you would.
Ping pong, I would. That is correct. I definitely be sure. The court, I don't have that much confidence. But my point being is they had the best player in the series spread. We're being given a gift. I'm betting a lot on the Heat to win this series. This team has been here before. That's another thing sometimes that I think matters a little bit. I think that kind of played a little bit of factor for some of these Knicks guys. I think that helped them out a little bit in that series because I think they were a little lost with that team that they had in Cleveland. So, yeah, I feel pretty sold here, Spread, on the Heat being one of the best bets on the board.
Wow. Okay. Tyler, I'm glad you're here.
And Spread, put them in parlays. Put them with the Celtics, right? Mix and match them. It's going to be a
resident Knicks fan. Are we going a little overboard here on a Miami team that lost a playing game to the Atlanta Hawks?
Yeah, I think we are. I think the Knicks
bring them back to earth, Tyler.
I think
New
the
York
Knicks are going to win the series. I mean, you look at the Miami-Milwaukee matchup. They've had that good matchup all for the past 4 years. Yeah. It's like that team is built to beat Milwaukee. Uh-huh. They're not going to sit there and play drop coverage like Milwaukee did and let them shoot all these threes. So Duncan Robinson out of the picture. Like you just start to cut guys out of this Miami rotation, and you look around. It's like, well, now Victor Oladipo's not here to step in. There's no Tyler Hero minutes coming. We got about 6 guys we can play. If Jimmy goes cold or these guys go cold, which I think it's the other guys, Jimmy could still cook here because there's really nobody to defend him. But I don't think the guys around him are going to shoot as good. These are going to be ugly games, and I think the Knicks got this series out in the end.
Yeah.
And don't be so fast. I know our guy Travis walked away, but he's saying parlay him with Boston. I went away from the coaching being a problem spread the last few weeks of the regular season. It's back.
It's back. All right, Tyler, that's a perfect segue, though, because I did want to get these guys' thoughts on those series real quick, and then we'll circle back around to tonight. Rubio, real quick. Tyler and I will break that down extensively on Monday. But did you just? I mean, and you even if you whatever, if you're not ready, but Celtics Sixers. Celtics are minus 307. I do think the Celtics win. I think from a betting perspective, that's got to be 76ers or pass. Plus 261 for some evenly matched teams. What are your thoughts, Rubio?
Is Embiid healthy? And I think that's
we run that every single year in the playoffs.
He's not is the thing.
And that's exactly it. That's the worry here. I'm with you, Tyler. I think Joe Mazzulla, he's in over his head. And I think he said a lot last night where you didn't feel confident the Celtics were going to win until Jason Tatum had that huge putback dunk. And you're like, oh, okay, Tatum stepped up. And Jaylen Brown, I mean, games 1, 2, and 3 were incredibly worrying. Maybe that giant gash in his hand is finally healed. Maybe they finally are healthy, right? The Celtics, maybe you could make concerns about that. Robert Williams looks to be fine. And Joe Mazzulla putting Blake Griffin in game 5, only up 12. I mean, you got to it makes you worried about the series. I didn't love the fact that Horford and Robert Williams were playing so many
minutes. Whose minutes are worse, Blake Griffin or DeAndre Jordan?
Oh, it's been Blake Griffin because DeAndre Jordan hasn't deserved some of these chances the last few years. Blake Griffin, he deserves every chance he gets. But man, that was weird. I mean, game 5, it's an elimination game for the Hawks, and you're trying to steal I don't want to put Robert Williams out on the floor because we might have already had this one. I want to save his knees. And then you lose another game. And instead of Robert Williams playing 4 extra minutes in the fourth quarter, no, you had to play him 20 extra minutes in game 6. And it's a little bit concerning to me. But at the same time, if Embiid is not ready to go in game 1 or game 2, it's awfully tough to go with the Sixers here. And it's concerning too. I mean, James Harden just got caught slapping someone out of a Las Vegas club.
Wait, what?
He slapped somebody, yeah.
It was just
a little love.
It was a slap, not a smack. I mean, but it's I like the Sixers. I got the trust the process sweatshirt. I'll be wearing that through the series. But if Embiid is not ready to go in game 1 or if he's hindered at all, I just think the Sixers don't really have an answer for Jason Tatum. I think Tatum, he stepped up there towards game 5 and 6. But man, that Joe Mazzulla thing is going to be tough to overcome. But I think the Celtics do it this series at least. Probably, I mean, you have to think the Knicks and the Heat. God, you got to think the Celtics kind of have the best path to the finals right now for sure too.
Travis, you want to let everyone know why your Celtics are worth it at minus 307? Because I think that price is pretty steep for teams that seem to be evenly matched.
It is steep, but there's ways to bet it spread. I think betting the minus 1.5 Sixers at minus 120 is good. I think they win 4-2, either 4-2, 4-1. I just think they're the better team. I think Embiid is not healthy. I think it's going to be apparent as you watch the series. I'm not that worried about Joe Mazzulla still. I'm still fine with it. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. They're going to get the job done. I also think we're also undervaluing how much better the Hawks were once the Quinn Snyder edition was there as well. They also have they have stars that can get the job done. If you think about it, the Nets don't have that, right? They don't got guys that can just show up. The Hawks at least have Trae Young, DeJounte Murray. They have guys, and the Celtics messed around a little too much, I think, with that series. So I don't think they're going to mess around with a team like Philly. I like them at the minus 1.5. So I think that's a good bet there. And I wouldn't worry about the James Harden smack spread. That little smack he gave, it's the smack I'd give you when Mikey's getting after you. I'd be like, spread, knock it off. It's just Mikey, dude. Don't worry about it. So it was very.
So Mikey, I expected from Snyder was the one who really disappointed me yesterday.
Yes, Snyder can be a pit bull at times. He can just fire.
I thought Snyder had more historical perspective.
I thought Snyder would have his soldiers get after you, but it was him. He was the one in the trenches.
Yeah, he led the way, so I'll give him credit for that, even though he led the way with just terrible takes. Let's dive into tonight, guys.
Before we do that, just ask all 3 of you guys. Who is the third best player on the Celtics roster this year?
White.
Their best player on which
Eric
team?
White.
The third best player on the Celtics this year.
It's been White for sure. The last
Marcus
4 months.
Smart?
Well, Smart. You got to keep in mind Smart's defense, right? You got to keep.
Yeah, that's why I put him out there.
I think Rubio's right.
I
think it's Derek White, and Joe Mazzulla not playing him at the end of games is going to be what cripples his team in the end.
It's White or Smart, I'd say. But you can one thing to call out, and I think it matters in this series too, is one, Robert Williams does matter, but Al Horford, he matches up really well for this Celtics series. He has played Joel Embiid very well. So I just don't think. I think this is like a buzzsaw type matchup for the Sixers, where like it doesn't work out well for them.
Here's another thing too. I mean, instead of betting the Celtics at -307, I know you're getting a slightly better number in game one. Let's say like we don't think Embiid plays, or Embiid's going to be really hindered in game one, gets better down the series. The Celtics are -285 in game one. I mean, that's a little bit better of a number. And I feel like if the Celtics are going to win the series, they got to win, or you would expect them to win game one too.
Yeah.
Slightly better number too.
I would just take the -1.5. I don't think this thing goes 4-3. Like it's 1.5. I don't know. I think it's perfect. Like just take it where it's 4-2. I'm not worried about it going back to Philly and the Philadelphia 76ers winning it and getting a game 7. Like, and I also think the health of Joel Embiid is very much in question. And when we've seen it, when the health of Embiid is in question, it's real. It's not nothing. And we saw the Atlanta Hawks get the job done against them. Like, if a hobbled Embiid and the Sixers win this game, I'd be completely shocked.
All right. Well, let's move into tonight's games. What's up?
Tyler's on mute.
That was a different 76ers team that Hawks team beat, though. That's a little far pulling that in. Like we got Ben Simmons running around just not even shooting the ball. We're playing 4-on-5 now.
It is. It's a different team, but
good point.
Okay, if Tobias Harris is out there cooking them, then so be it. Like
I think your biggest worry is like Maxey just takes the step forward, and it's like, oh, he's actually
they have
like
too many wing defenders. There's no chance. They're gonna just keep switching on them. There's with White, Brogdon, Smart. There's no way. Like it's gonna be too much for them. It's gonna be suffocating. If I had to pick the worst matchup for them, this would be it. It's not the Bucks.
It's a weird year. It's a weird year, Travis. We just watched the Bucks go out in 5. Philly's going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I didn't think they'd lose this series. I'm not saying I said the Heat were going to win it, but I did say they were overrated.
Well, Rubio, tonight at 8 o'clock, you're going to sit down in front of your television. You're going to flip it on, and you're going to say, "Is COVID back? Are they locked down in California?" Because nobody is going to be in that arena at 5 p.m. West Coast time. It's 12:48 for me right now. If I left right now, I still couldn't get to that arena by 5 o'clock. Bay Area traffic, a 5 o'clock start. The arena is going to be empty to start. I don't really know how much that matters in handicap. I just wanted to throw that out there that no, we're not on lockdown when you tune in tonight. It's not the bubble all over again. People are actually going to show up. But, of course, Jonathan Nelson's Los Angeles Lakers have to headline the show and have to take everything. So we get screwed. We start at 5 p.m. No fans in the building. Kings, Warriors, Rubio, your thoughts?
Well, it's actually the first thing I noticed when I pulled up the games today. And, like, obviously, like I knew it. I saw the Warriors starting at 8. And I'm like, that's weird. 5 o'clock on a Friday. I couldn't believe it. So
seriously, if I left right now, I would miss opening tip.
That is wild. That's kind of funny. As you said, I don't know how that affects the handicap or anything like that. But yeah, Kings first quarter after the Warriors show up, and they're like, "What the hell's going on in this arena?" But that was the first thing I noticed. Fred, at 5 o'clock on a Friday. What a terrible, terrible piece. They couldn't give them 8:30. Like, come on now. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's rough. Who do you? Well, I know you like the Warriors tonight. Do you like them to cover the 7.5? Do you like the 236? And talk to me about how your DraftKings lineups are going to look.
Yeah, so one of the first things I did is I kind of started to kind of fiddle around with the same game parlay. Like it's been kind of a weird series because I've been like hammering Fox, but Fox I faded last game, which somehow miraculously ended up working out because of Monk at the very end. But I've been taking unders on Steph Curry, and then I've been kind of working the Warriors money line live. So I'm hoping they go out tonight to Ohio and kind of bet this live. But I've been really just kind of focusing on this like Warriors mid tier that we've been gifted, along with like the Kings, where you have like Monk who went off last game, and you still have Fox. I'm still worried about that finger. Like he hit like 2 or 3 threes early, and then he kind of just vanished in that second half. But still,
you missed a lot of floaters that have been going in for all season.
Yeah. And, I still like him. And I think I'm going to put him in my pool tonight, too, when doing these showdowns. And my fantasy lineups, like Kevon Looney's just been an absolute lock, like almost every slate. And they've finally upped his price a little bit. But this is a slate where you really only have, like, 2 legit center options. Unless, like, I'll be honest, like, I've been fading Sabonis the whole time. I think that matchup just kind of has been a little bit physical for him. But I've been going with like Looney or Ayton or Tillman, and then this time I'm finally just going to go Looney over Tillman tonight too, without any worry. And so for the fantasy wise, like we've been stacking game one the whole time. You have the Luke Kennard injury too in Memphis. I'm sorry for your loss, Mangone, that Kennard won't play. But I played him in game 4 and game 5. When he went out with injury last game, I was like, who runs worse? Like, God, he was crushing.
He's been great for them, by the way.
7 minutes to open the game too. It was frustrating, but
because they're better with him. He is literally a better lineup than Dylan Brooks. Like, and you can make the case that Dylan Brooks absorbs fouls throughout the game, and that's fine. But like at the end of the day, you want Luke Kennard to come in and you want to close with him. You don't want to close with Dylan Brooks.
Yep. And like it's weird because like Dylan Brooks is just missing every 3 from deep. What did he shoot? 2 for 10 or 2 for 11 from downtown last game? Like Conchar's the alternative. They didn't play Roddy last game until garbage time, right? And they played Conchar, which is kind of weird to me because Roddy was actually playing well in his minutes. So it's not like we have a complete like clear-cut value, but for showdown purposes, it kind of gets a little bit intriguing for that late game. And then but I think I'm just going to jam this game one. Like Mike Brown wants to play fast. We see it. We see these guys who are just optimal. You're seeing, Looney play 30 minutes. You're seeing Clay, Wiggins, who's been just constant machine too. And then you can just run it back with like, Fox or Monk or, I haven't really been feeling like Keegan Murray had a great game 4. He had like 18 first half fantasy points last game, almost like all in the first quarter. It felt like too. And then he vanished in the second half. So you can mix in some Kings, but yeah, I'll just be jamming this first game with like 2 or 3 pieces from the late game too, and then kind of seeing where that rolls out. The Lakers defense, Tyler, you were right. Like that defense has been great. I remember when I talked to you guys before the playoffs. Why are we a believer? Well, makes sense to be a believer. I mean, this defense has kind of toned it down or shut things down, and when AD shows up, man, he's been awesome.
All right, Travis. Is there any chance that you're giving Rubio a little taunt? Is there any chance there'll be a game 7 here in Sacramento on Sunday, or does the series end tonight? What do you think?
I'm hopeful, but I don't. I'm gonna be rooting like kind of like you, Spread, like a fan. My wallet won't be there. I mean, it's been there, but like it's not gonna be like on this game tonight. I'll say that. I'll be rooting at home hard, hoping that I can take care of Rubio in game 7, but. Yeah, definitely worried about Fox's finger. It's not the same. And it looked great to start off the first half. And then I was kind of trying to remember because I think the reason I didn't recognize what happened in the second half is because I was so plugged into the Heat game. And then like out of nowhere, the Warriors game was over. Right. So I think that's kind of what happened where I didn't get as good of a look. But also if Fox wasn't getting buckets, I wasn't really noticing it on the second TV. Right. I got the 2 TVs up there and I just didn't notice Fox do much. And I did see Fox going like this at times, and I was like, oh, great, his finger's bothering him. So I was frustrated with that. Let's just talk DFS, though. Let's dive into that. Fox is 8.7, which is a nice price tag on him. The thing you have to debate is, and it's not like, do you like Fox or do you not? It's, what do you think of Fox versus the other spend-up point guard? So you have to make a decision. If you're spending at point guard, is it Fox? Is it Curry? Is it Ja Morant? So I think figuring out how you want to handle them is the first step. All obviously going to be good plays. I think you are going to see a lot of people play Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell or play one or the other, but I think a lot of people are going to play both. For me, I think I'm just going to set a rule instantly. One of Reeves, one of Russell. Another rule you could set if you wanted is you could go max of 2 of Reeves, Russell, and Schroeder. But a lot of teams that I'm seeing are going to just naturally play a balanced type build today. Maybe they grab one stud, but they're going to grab like Russell and Reeves. I like the idea of just setting that rule from the start. I think that instantly will help with some differentiation with your teams. So yeah, that's one rule that I'm looking to set possibly here. So I like Reeves if I had to pick over Russell. Just think he's the better option. I think Russell's floor is a lot lower, and I think Russell has a lot of ownership. So, yeah, that's how I kind of would be how I'd be handling the guards. I know it's kind of a weird segue, but I think it's worth talking about. For me, ranking-wise, I'd probably rank him Curry 1, Fox 2, and then Ja 3. I'm just not as big on Ja, and I like some of these other Grizzlies options if I had to pick. I think Desmond Bane is going to be a pretty strong play. One thing to note, he's going to be at that shooting guard position. And I know I'm going off on a tangent a little bit here. Actually, let me read it back in and go to.
I say both of you guys broke down the full slate rather than just one game, but it's fine.
Well, there's some correlation to it. Let me bring it back. Let me go to Malik Monk because if you think Fox is, and I kind of thought this last game, I was like, I don't know what is going to happen with Fox. But what I do know is I don't think it's a bad idea to separate Fox and Monk on separate teams. I don't think that's a bad rule to set as well. You could even another rule I haven't mind setting is separating Monk and Herder a little bit, just because I think those guys just eat into each other a bit. And Herder has been boxed up. I mean, it's been Kevin. We have had Kevin here, not Kayvon. It's been Kevin. I want to see Kayvon show up. We need someone. Hopefully Kayvon shows up in this series, but I'm a little nervous about that. I agree with Rubio. It's game 6 Clay. I think we're going to get a good Clay game. I like his price. The one thing to talk about with Clay is he is only guard eligible, not forward eligible. I do think Andrew Wiggins is a good forward option too to consider. One thing I've liked about Wiggins in this series is we've attacked the Kings all season at the wing. Perfect spot for Andrew Wiggins. He's going to be at the wing for a lot of minutes. I think it's a really good spot for him. If it's between Xavier Tillman or Kevon Looney, I mean, Kevon Looney has looked like a boss. It's hard to argue with what he's done. And Draymond Green is also a great team player and willing to kind of let him take that role. I like Looney. If I had to rank the Warriors today, I'd say Looney and Clay are probably 1 and 2. They're probably like 1A, 1B. Like I think both are really good options. Then the next in line for me would be Wiggins. And then I followed up by Curry and then probably Draymond. And I like Draymond, but there is that worry of him coming off the bench. Also, I don't think he's going to go out there and shoot and put up 20 points again. I mean, that was a little egregious, but they are giving him the opportunity. Let's at least say that. Like the opportunity is there. And in fantasy, opportunity is important. So not totally neglecting him. Guys, I will probably neglect. Like I don't need Dante DiVincenzo that much. Again, it's a 2-game slate, but Dante DiVincenzo is not really a value that I'm dying to get to. I think I'd rather take some chances on some other values instead. And then on the Kings, Sabonis I don't love a lot. He's going to pop up a little bit as a contrarian center spend because a lot of people are playing Looney and Tillman in that mid-tier. I don't think I'm biting on Sabonis. If I do spend up, I think it'd be Anthony Davis. It's like, let me go all the way up to Anthony Davis instead. I know it's not the same price, but that contrarian build would be more appealing to me than going to a Sabonis. And for me, if I have to play a King, it's going to be either going to be Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, or as shocking as this sounds, Keegan Murray. And I just think Keegan Murray has slid into a role where they just need him to score. I'm not saying he's going to score, but like the opportunity's there. It's clear that they're going to give him opportunities to shoot the ball. So that's how I'd rank him, but I'm not as excited about Kings. Probably more excited about Warriors if I had to pick.
Tyler, Northern California basketball fan here. Just to me, as sad as it sounds, and friends at work aren't happy with me saying this, I feel like the Warriors boat race them tonight. I feel this is where their experience in that home court really combines, and kind of the frustration for the Kings seeing a successful season kind of circle down the drain becomes too much for the Kings to handle. Do you have any words of positivity, Tyler? Can you cheer me up? Can you point to any reasons why maybe I should be looking at this +7.5?
No, I like the +7.5. I mean, I think they still match up very well with this team. And even the games you've seen the Warriors win, it's like they've never really boat raced this team in the playoffs.
That's true.
I don't think the Kings are just going to lay down and just go away at any point in this game. Like, they're going to keep fighting. I think it's just going to be a single-digit game late in the game, similar to the last game and the one before that. So
what's the spread?
7.5.
It's 7.5 right now. Now, offshore, I'm looking at Bookmaker, right? And I see you guys arguing over offshores and legals here. I think this Bookmaker is going to get back to 7. If you like the Warriors offshore, I do think the Kings will take a little bit of money before it goes. But it's going to be 7 or 7.5 where you bet it. I don't think it goes to 8.
Yeah, I like them on the side. I think the Kings cover. I think it's a close game all the way through. I do think the Warriors got it out in the end and end it in 6. I think both series end in 6 here. You're going to see both teams just want to get this over with and get the new series on. But a couple of fun plays I like in this one. I don't think they cover. I think the Warriors win. That win margin on the Warriors 1-10 is +180. Love that.
Okay.
And the Kings could definitely win this first half spread before the Warriors patent the third quarter comes in. And then we get a slugfest of a fourth quarter that they win. 5-1 on the halftime, full-time Kings and then the Warriors. I don't mind taking a shot on that.
Tyler, we took the over in game 5. That hit. What about the elimination game jitters? How about an under game 6?
No, I love unders here. I mean, the home away splits have always been with away games. Away games for the Warriors and home games for the Kings have trended over, and home games for the Warriors and away games for the Kings have trended under. So give me the under here.
Great call. All right. Anything more on the Kings and the Warriors till we move on to what Jonathan Nelson will call the main event? I call it the yawn event. What do you guys think? You guys anything more? Are you guys ready to talk about the NBA's favorite players?
I'll mention it just because I feel like I'll have him in my teams. Gary Payton got his last game after being out of the rotation, with the illness, and then barely playing in Game 5 or in Game 4, and then getting 16 minutes in Game 6. But I think a little bit of that had to do with Clay's foul trouble. But he was like DiVincenzo was a -11 in the box score. Gary Payton was even. He was the only bench guy who actually played solid in terms other than Draymond Green, which I don't consider a bench guy, but. So Gary Payton minutes, if he gets around 20 for 3.7 on the main slate, like it's worth looking at. And I think a lot of people might gravitate toward, we'll talk about the late game here in just a second, but I'll kind of lead it into it. But like Conchar or Roddy, oh, look, Kennard's out. There might be more minutes there. I don't think it'll be a ton of people, but I think I'll be more comfortable with Payton than one of these backup Grizzlies guys.
All right. And ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, and the rest of the NBA media is foaming at the mouth for this next series because they're pretty obvious. They don't want to do any research on any new teams, so they just want to argue about LeBron every single day for the rest of their lives. And they don't want to travel to Sacramento or Memphis. They want to be in Los Angeles, so they're all going to be rooting for the Lakers. And unfortunately, I think that they're going to be happy people tonight because I think the Lakers are going to get it done. Rubio, in this dark forest that is Lakers dominance, can you show me any light?
No.
It sucks, huh?
I'm fiddling with the with everything around the showdown here, right? And like I was going over the slate. If you think the Grizzlies keep it close, like I think the slate becomes way better. I'm just having a tough time getting there because Desmond Bane has played his ass off in back-to-back games. We had John Morant
36 and 33 from Bane.
Game 4, and it's just frustrating because I feel like the Grizzlies don't have another gear. And with the Lakers being at home, I'm just really worried about the way this ends up. Like, do they get out to another slow start? And then it becomes Ja literally forcing everything, being the only source of offense. And the minutes are still going to be there for the Grizzlies though. But I just see the Lakers just kind of cruising out to one of those patented LeBron elimination games where he goes up 15-20, it stays at 15-20, and by the fourth quarter, you're like, man, this game has been boring the whole time because the Lakers have just been so steady. And that's kind of how I see it going. And we saw it with Game 4 where the Lakers jumped out the huge lead. The Grizzlies still got there fantasy-wise.
Was it 35-9?
Yeah, 35-9. I was at the bar watching. I did play the Lakers. I had a same game parlay where I had LeBron getting 30, so of course he fell 5 short, but it feels like one of those games where the Lakers just kind of take control early. They dominate. And I still like the fact that, in terms of the showdown and also the classic slate, I like the interest of Anthony Davis or LeBron James. I don't like pairing them up. Even on the showdown, if I see John Morant playing 45 minutes tonight. I see Desmond Bane the same way. Jaren Jackson Jr., his minutes have trended up from 30 during the regular season to 40 in the playoffs when he doesn't have foul trouble. So I don't want to completely neglect the Grizzlies side of things in the DFS world because I do think, let's say they do keep it within 10 or something like that, or, perhaps make this a game out of it. You can definitely see the Grizzlies absolutely feasting. And that's where I have a little bit more interest in John Morant than Mangone does. But it's tough to get there. I do like splitting up AD and LeBron in my showdown teams and, of course, my main teams as well. I love the call of splitting up Reeves and D-Russ, and I don't like the idea of pairing D-Russ with Schroeder because Schroeder has been directly stealing minutes from D-Russ when D-Russ has foul trouble or just is not playing poorly. And Schroeder's minutes at 3.5. He's going to be a very popular pick tonight, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how it all folds down. And showdown-wise, you're going to hear some gross names. Malik Beasley's 1K. Troy Brown Jr. is 1.8K. I see one of the guys said that Kennard was at shoot-around, so that probably won't open up the can of worms for Conchar or Roddy or anyone. So you'll kind of see a lot of the ownership focused on them. I think Troy Brown Jr. comes in at 25% on showdown at least. Malik Beasley maybe around 15 to 20% too. So you'll have some value options. You'll have people doing stars and scrubs, which is the patented build for sure. If you can get minutes at 1K on showdown, you do it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the builds lead when I fiddle with the optimizer on that late game.
Travis, the fantasy doctor. No days off for you, right? You grind NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. When do you ever take a day off? I'll tell you what, it feels like LeBron James took a day off during Game 5. He's not living the Travis Mangone lifestyle. Felt like he took a day off, which was cool for the Grizzlies, but I think it's going to be bad news for the Grizzlies tonight. I feel like he rested in that game to just put it on him tonight. I like LeBron over AD in fantasy in the showdown slate, especially if you talk about Rubio, his script where you only play one, and I have to make a choice. I'm going LeBron, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, if I had to make a choice, it's LeBron. I think it's mainly because of positions too. I think that is a big factor because I think you just have these centers that you want to play, and I don't see myself getting AD. I think positions are going to force you to LeBron a little bit more. I wish he had the power forward eligibility only as a small forward, but I still think really good play. I think it's going to be a heavier guard slate for me in a way. But I like LeBron. I want to try and get him on my main team today too, just because I think it's going to be a bit of a contrarian build while everyone is spending up for Ja Morant and Steph Curry, spending up for De'Aaron Fox. I don't think people are going to spend up for LeBron now.
Really? That's a surprise to me.
They're just not going to do it because it's the way the slate is structured. There's more forward type value, more balanced type builds that make sense, and there's not as many cheap guards that you like. There's a couple that you like, but those prices are a little underpriced. And LeBron's at 10-1 while you got Curry at 9-7. Like every $100 matters. So I like LeBron. I think he's a good spend up option for me. Someone that I'm going to consider for sure. So sorry, I'm yawning a little bit, maybe because this game's going to be boring.
Because you haven't taken a day off for 3 years, bro. Take a day off.
Yeah, I need to take a day off like LeBron. So. And speaking of not taking a day off, we're going to be on the MLB show at 4:45 Eastern. So
perfect segue.
I'll be firing on that show shortly. But I do like LeBron James. Definitely interested in him. Jared Vanderbilt he's been really good, but Rui has too, right? It's like one or the other. Group those guys away from each other. I'm fine with getting them on your teams, but you do not want them together. And the optimizer can do some weird stuff on 2-game slates, so make sure it doesn't do that. I'm trying to think of anything else. Memphis. Desmond Bane's played great. I don't love Ja, but he's fine. Like, it's just, if I fall on him last, I'm never going to be mad about it. But there's other just studs I think I'm going to try and prioritize instead. I fade Dillon Brooks every single time. Easy Dillon Brooks fade. Don't need to bother with him. He sucks. So I'm out on him. David Roddy lost one last time. And I assume if Kennard plays, Kennard's going to get his normal run. So you don't want to worry about Roddy. I don't think that's going to open up. Jaren Jackson Jr. is an elite producer. If he gets the minutes, it does feel like he's going to get the minutes this game, right? Like, if he gets in foul trouble, he gets in foul trouble. It's definitely a good Jaren Jackson Jr. spot. Xavier Tillman's fine too. It's one of those spots where they're down, right? They just got to play their guys minutes. So I wouldn't ignore these like mid-tier Grizzlies options like Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, really good options. I'll just always fade Dillon Brooks. I don't care. You can't convince me to play him. He could be literally $100 and I'm not interested. So overall, Tillman, Jaren Jackson, and Bane are probably my 3 favorite options. And I don't hate Luke Kennard if he plays, but I'm definitely a little cautious with the injury.
All right. I hate this. I hate this so much. Jonathan Nelson's right again tonight. Rui, AR-15, D'Lo, probably all going to have big nights. It's funny, D'Lo's a max contract, but he's a role player. Tyler, it's just been a depressing day. I think the Kings are going to lose. I think the Lakers are going to win. Is there any chance Memphis can get it done tonight? Is there any chance that evil can be defeated?
No, if anybody's winning tonight, it's your Kings. I mean, we got Tony Brothers crew chief tonight. We know he loves favoring the home teams. He's the lead referee in the Lakers game. He'll be all over giving AD all the calls. LeBron will live at the free throw line. So will Reeves. They're going to run away with that game. Memphis just isn't mentally tough enough to beat this LA team either. Like, we've seen it. Like, these guys talk all this trash, and the moment they get down, they run and hide. Like, these guys don't want to do post-game interviews after they lose the last game. Then they win one, and then they're all dancing all over the floor like they're all happy. The moment they get down 10 in this game spread, those guys are going to start thinking about vacation. Jaws going back to Memphis. They just want to be done here, spread.
All of them are thinking about Cancun. Jaws like, I can't wait to go to the hood and sell crack.
I gotta get back to the block.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is depressing. I guess I'll be watching some soap operas tonight, huh, Tyler? This is gonna be terrible, huh?
Yeah, your Mexican soap operas, you can go watch those.
Bro, they're good. You guys are missing out. You guys are missing out on that.
Rubio, what's your thoughts on soap operas? I thought Travis was going to be on my side.
First of all, I'm not into American soap operas. They have to be telenovelas.
See, I kind of was spread here. I watch a lot of K-drama with my girlfriend. And, it's kind of fire. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the lure of like a different language. You just reading the whatever.
We're about to lose best bets and words of wisdom.
No, we're not. Do not hit the button.
Don't hit the button. We need to talk about
that away from you.
I watch a lot of anime too. Like it doesn't have to be in English for me to enjoy it.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Wait, no. Hold on. I'm not one of those guys. My girlfriend. I'm with my girlfriend. Hold on. Let's pause real quick.
The anime
his
guys.
girlfriend turns it on, but Rubio is actually the one that's like, "Hey, do you want to watch this tonight?"
We the people hit the button on us.
Yeah.
Fine, just for that, I'm slandering Russ more. All right, guys, let's go for the best bets. What do you got for us, Tyler? Best bet tonight, side, total, or prop?
Give me the Warriors win margin at 1-10 at plus 175. That game's going to stay close. They're going to get it out in the end, but they're not going to win by double digits.
Travis, your best bet today.
Is it a best bet for this? For these two games?
You can do whatever you want. All the people want is a winner.
Can I guess it? Can I guess it before he gives it out?
You know it. What is it?
It's going to be the Heat series parlayed with the Boston Celtics.
No, we're not even parlaying. Just take the Heat series.
Okay.
Don't throw the parlay in. Just
you threw the Boston leg in there before you got up earlier. I thought for sure you
don't need the leg. It's just Heat money line to win the series plus 135. Throw whatever legs you want in. I will have a Celtics one. You don't need to throw it in there. I don't want people let's just sweat the Heat out. That way we can flex on people when the Heat absolutely dog the Knicks.
All right, Rubio, give us everyone a best bet, man. We're so happy to have you. Thank you for joining us, but the work's not done yet. No days off.
I appreciate that, guys. Game 6, Clay, leading scorer in that game, plus 450. Well, sprinkle a little bit on it. I like it. I think if there's anyone who can go for 35 or something like that, wouldn't surprise you. I liked his alt over on points, but plus 450 is a good price for that.
All right, give me the under 236 in the Kings-Warriors games. Elimination games tend to go under. I got caught playing a couple of those overs, much to Tyler's chagrin earlier this week. Will not make that mistake again. But, hey, this is a fun show, guys, today. Thank you for showing up. RunTourSports.com. If you're not a member, use that promo code SPREAD15. 15% off your first month's membership. And please hit the thumbs up button. We don't even ask during the show. We just do it once at the end. You guys are already saying later. You're not staying for the words of wisdom. Rubio, take it away. Get the people out of here.
Words of wisdom. That's a lot of pressure on me. The first time I screwed up, I said don't bet the Kings. And of course, they took the first two games. So the words of wisdom today. Mangone's been hot. Tyler's been hot. Spread you. I don't know. I saw the free pick from Tyler. Just tail the guys. Tail you guys. That's all it is. Words of wisdom. Tail spread. Tail Tyler and tail Mangone. That's all you got to do.